Now, this is breaking news from WCCO.
Good afternoon. I'm Jason DeRusha.
And I'm Natalie Nias in for Jamie Yugas. Thank you for joining us. And we begin with some breaking news. A Metro Transit bus rages down Nicollet Mall, crashing into part of our building right behind us.
When we rushed out of the building to help, the bus driver was not conscious. But incredibly, with this happening right on Nicollet Mall, it looks like no one else was seriously hurt. Kate Raditz is live with more. Kate?
Well, Jason, it was such a chaotic scene here earlier this morning. Just take a look here behind me. You can see all of the debris lining Nicollet Mall. They're still trying to clean up. There is shattered glass everywhere, all up and down the block between 10th and 11th Streets. Our Nicollet Mall studio really completely taken out here outside. But when we were having our regular morning meeting here at WCCO, when all of a sudden we heard and felt this loud crash, when we looked up, we saw the bus up on the sidewalk hitting the building. Now, witnesses say the bus was heading south on Nicollet Mall when all of a sudden the driver slumped over on the bus and it started to go up on the sidewalk around 10th Street and then scraped buildings all the way down the block. Now, they think there were less than a dozen people on the bus at the time. We spoke to one man who tried to get to the front of the bus to stop it.
It sounded like it was like a thunderstorm or something. Like it wasn't like it was in a dream, a movie or something. I didn't really think it was really happening, but it was.
Screaming, oh God. It was like a tornado was coming to meet us. But instead, we was off the street on the sidewalk, just tearing down. It was devastating.
Scary situation. WCCO meteorologist Mike Augustinek was outside when this happened. You saw the whole thing.
Yeah, wrong place, right time, I guess. I was actually meeting my parents for a snack just down the road and was texting them and heard the crash as the bus first came up onto the sidewalk, hit either a light pole or a garbage can, and that's when I froze because it was coming right toward me about 10 miles an hour, so fairly slow. I had a chance to decide should I run away or run toward it. I ran toward it and around it and had to jump over some debris in the meantime.
Scary?
It was very scary. I mean, it's crazy. It's the biggest cliche in the world, but it felt like a movie. You don't expect to see that happening. It's lucky that it was today and not some other day, though.
Absolutely. And eventually the bus did come to stop over there across the street in PV Plaza. We're still waiting to hear the condition of that bus driver, Jason.
We do know that they were performing CPR on him. It didn't look good. One of the cars, the drivers waiting at 11th and Nicollet told me, Kate, that the light was red as the traffic sat there watching that bus go raging by. So lucky there that the bus didn't run into traffic. No people on the sidewalk really hurt either?
Well, a bicyclist actually told us that he was swiped by the bus, but he's okay, so it appears no one else hurt. But so many people saying, thank goodness this was a holiday. We know this block is so busy on a regular workday, so good news about that.
No doubt. All right, thanks, Kate. Stay with WCCO TV and WCCO.com. For more as this story develops, we'll have the latest at 5 and 6 tonight.
8:52, let's get you up and moving. You've got 4 things to do today now.
Number 1, Mike, the historic Wabasha Street Caves in St. Paul has ghost stories and tours going on now that are sure to scare you out of your socks. Tours range from $10 to $25.
Number 2, the Trail of Terror in Shakopee is now open. Boy, this is a spooky 4
It really is.
Trail of Terror runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights until November 1st. And new this year is a zombie paintball course for you to test your ability to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Okay, got to know if you can do it. Number 3, petting zoos and pony rides and a menagerie of family fun awaits you on Grand Avenue in St. Paul. The Grand Harvest is a celebration of the season and small businesses on one of St. Paul's most charming streets. It's not just fun for kids either. There's food and discounts.
And number 4, it is one of the largest zombie-themed Halloween events in the country, and it gets started tonight. Get undead with the Zombie Pub Crawl in Minneapolis. The fright starts at 5 and continues until the witching hour of 2 a.m. And makeup is certainly encouraged, but not required.
Not required, but I think that you should definitely go for the makeup. Okay. We did.
Yes.
And you can check that out on WCCO.com or our Facebook page.
Now, were you more scared by the undead makeup or what's
the snake
next to me?
I will tell you. Okay, so here's what's happening. The Minnesota Zoo, they're celebrating the entire month of Spooktober, right? That's how you guys are saying it, Chris? So it's with fall babies, things that go bump in the night. Chris Ness is here to tell us about some of the creepy crawly animals that you can now see at the zoo, and you can also see that Mike and I have switched spots.
Yeah, I heard this is Max, Chris?
This is Max. He's a Dumerel's boa constrictor from Madagascar.
I heard him saying Natalie's name.
No, he did not. That is absolutely not true. gosh, you two.
So, no? Okay.
You're not afraid of snakes, huh, Mike?
Not at all. Tell us a little bit about Max. There's no reason to be afraid.
There's no reason to be afraid of them. A lot of people think snakes are slimy. They kind of get a bad rap, especially during Halloween. If you've ever held a basketball, you know exactly what a snake feels like. They're not slimy.
Just bumpy.
Just bumpy. Frogs and toads are slimy.
Yeah, and he seems, you said he was very happy this morning.
Yeah, I mean, this is his full-time job. He's a traveling snake. He goes to schools, hospitals, daycares, nursing homes.
Snake.
Yeah.
Whoa, so young kids are around this snake.
And that's part of the reason we give him a name of Max, because then he's not a big, scary snake. He's just our friend Max.
Yeah.
So when people come to Halloween, can they meet Max?
There's a number of different animal encounters throughout the day, so check the schedule when you get there.
Okay.
Max has a very rigorous schedule, so he's not always available for meet and greets.
Is he kind of a diva?
A little bit.
Understandable. You know what? Look at him. He's just posing for the camera.
He is. But there's, between snakes, or you might get to see an otter training session, or, something out at the farm. So the schedule changes literally every day, so you got to check it out.
Yeah, tarantulas and all sorts of...
Tarantulas and all kinds of scary stuff, yes.
Yeah. Would Max be interested in hitching a piggyback ride on me, or is that not cool?
Like Britney Spears?
Sure.
Are you really going to
try?
Yeah.
I'll let you hold him here.
Okay. So, see, now he hissed. What does that mean?
He exhaled.
He exhaled, okay.
So I'm going to give you
a boa constrictor, by the way, they don't bite.
They have a mouth. They could bite, but they pretty much they kill by constriction. So unless you are a rat, you are fine.
Well,
let's do this.
Look, okay, so it's really interesting to watch him. Now he's kind of extending.
When he's all stretched out, he's about 6 feet.
Don't stare at me.
He wants to know what the weather is, Mike.
Well, the weather is actually kind of cool for snakes, right?
It'd be a little chilly for him.
He's a tropical snake. It's in the 30s right now. We'll end up near 60 later today. Low 60s coming up tomorrow. And he's very powerful, but he's not squeezing.
No, he's just he weighs about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
He's heavy.
Do you want to?
No, not at all, but I do appreciate it. I've done a lot of things with and for WCCO, and this is one of the things I can.
I'm doing a lip sync contest in 2 weeks, and that is far more terrifying.
Okay, all right, I'll touch that. Okay, that's enough for me.
There you go. Thanks so much, Chris. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Max.
And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Saturday morning and stick with WCCO 4 News later today. He needs that arm.
I'm stuck. That's okay.
Okay. Max.
I'll show you.
On the run for a month, then in custody, Ty Hoffman will now appear in court today.
And I'll show you how a Twin Cities hospital is preparing in case the Ebola virus spreads to Minnesota.
Otsego now with the first target carrying alcohol, but find out why some neighbors there are not in such great spirits about it.
The doctor is in. Minnesota now has a top doc in charge of data for the state's medical marijuana program.
Well, new this morning, a man is in custody after leading Minneapolis police on a high-speed chase through the city. Police responded to a domestic disturbance call around 4:30 this morning at the 2200 block of Pierce Avenue Northeast. An adult man tried to leave the scene and struck an officer with his vehicle. The officer fell to the ground, but he was not hurt. The suspect led police on a high-speed chase, which ended when he hit a tree on Penn Avenue in the city's north side. He tried to flee on foot, but eventually was arrested. Police have not revealed the identity of the suspect. Well, just before midnight, Minneapolis police responded to a call of shots fired near 15th Street and LaSalle Avenue, just outside of downtown Minneapolis. When they arrived to the area, officers found a man lying in the street a few blocks away near 14th and Nicollet. They say the man was shot in the back and walked himself to a nearby business for help. We're told he was transported to HCMC. No word on his condition. Police are still investigating the incident.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Well, you've just seen a clip from 11:59, the latest from artist Michael Franti, who will be taking the stage tonight at the 20th annual anniversary of the Basilica Block Party. He is here in the WCCO studios right now. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you.
Thanks, Kim.
You're actually on tour right now, touring part of the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow, we were last night in Chicago. Tomorrow we'll be in Des Moines. We're on this tour called the Soulshine Tour. It's combining music and yoga together. So every day we have 4 hours of music, but before that, it starts with an acoustic yoga jam.
Wow.
So I play acoustically and someone teaches, and there's hundreds of people roll out their mats and we have a great time.
Now, is that why you have bare feet right now?
Well,
Can you throw them up? I think that's awesome. So you walk in the studio with bare feet. That's the first thing I noticed. I looked at Kevin and
Nice.
he's barefoot. This is amazing.
I've been barefoot now for 14 years.
No kidding.
And I started traveling to different countries around the world where kids couldn't afford to wear shoes. People in general couldn't afford to wear shoes.
Yeah.
And I would try to go barefoot, and I couldn't even take 3 steps without hurting my feet. So I went home to San Francisco, and I decided to do a shoe fast for 3 days and go barefoot. I went for a week, and then a month, and a year. And at 10 years, we partnered with this organization, Souls for Souls, and they collect shoes, and they distributed them to places of natural disasters. So they started after Hurricane Katrina, and they've been to Haiti. Now they're in 60 different countries. So at all of our shows, we also collect shoes. People bring them to our merch table.
I'd love to contribute.
That's a really nice one.
Natalie's got her shoes.
I think it's a great cause.
That is a wonderful cause. Now, I think a lot of people know your music. It's fantastic, but they know one song the best, Say Hey, right?
Say Hey, yeah.
Do you ever get tired of kind of performing that? Or
Not really. You know, I thought I would. You know, it's a really popular song and people know it. But it's one of those songs that we love to play as much as
It's so
people
positive.
love to hear. It's really uplifting.
I mean, Say Hey, I love you. I mean, what else?
it's on my iPod.
Yeah. Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming in. We wish you the best of luck on your tour. Thanks for enlightening us too about your cause. And, and then the yoga and music's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
We could sit here for like an hour with you if we had the time, but we don't, unfortunately. Tonight and tomorrow, though, Basilica Block Party, 5 to 10:30 p.m. WCCO.com/links.
That's right. The gates open at 5 and run until 10:30 tonight. Michael Franti and Spearhead take the stage at 8:45. Thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. You're great. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So what kind of weather are we going to have? This is an outdoor festival.
I know. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I think we're probably good here in the rain department, really for most of the weekend. Tonight, maybe a few isolated showers.
Check in with Chad Hartman over at 830 WCCO Radio. Chad, how you doing today?
Can I just be honest with the viewers here? What's taking place between the two of you and the hijinks that's been going on here the last 45 minutes? You're hacking into his Twitter account.
Never.
He's hacking back. I mean,
you hacked back?
Chad's not even on Twitter, so he doesn't really know what he's saying.
Yeah. Is anything I said inaccurate at this point?
Yeah, he hasn't hacked me back.
He hasn't hacked back.
That part is not accurate.
I definitely hacked.
What makes you think that I didn't tweet, I hate weekends because I miss hanging out with Jamie Yuccas?
I can't imagine why I would think that way.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to the mayor about police accountability.
All right. Thanks, Chad. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
You can tune into the Chad Hartman Show until 3 o'clock on 830 WCCO Radio.